Then let's move on to the transparency test, and QOR has done quite well based on these 6 colors. I haven't done transparency test on the other 3 that I have, and also these colors and that came in this sample pack, but from this set, from the high chroma set, the transparency did very well. They're all transparent, excluding the Cobalt Teal, which is to be expected from the Cobalt color, and it's not terribly bad. You can still see the black line, but you can see it's not as clear, so I'd say it's a semi-opaque. It's not a fully opaque color. And in terms of staining test, they say that their color is meant to be quite removable, so but I experienced that in fact it's not. So the only colors that I could lift were these 2, so the green gold and cobalt teal. The rest where you can see my attempts, but in terms of dioxazine purple, 0. Literally I could not lift a single part of it, and you can see the lines here, but it's not, you know, it's not liftable. Then I have just gone ahead and kind of played around and done some mixing here, and this gives you an indication of what type of colors you could get with this palette, and I am so happy. I literally could take these 6 tubes and put it in my portable palette or a travel watercolor palette, and I think I would be satisfied. And the only colors that I would like to have is some sort of a yellow, like a lemon yellow type of color. Yeah, so they're super pretty. Here are my favorite ones, the ones that I highlighted. They're very interesting colors. This is very close to sub green, but it's incredibly interesting. So green gold with cobalt teal, and then we also have quinacridone magenta with cobalt teal, also very interesting. The cobalt teal is a fantastic color for, you can see here is also cobalt teal with magenta. Again, I've done different strength of swatches, and you can see that's the same 2 colors but mixed differently, and you get beautiful variety here. So the cobalt teal is very special in this color, in this palette, and I prefer it to Schminke cobalt turquoise because it behaves a lot more interestingly when mixing with other colors. You can even see with Quinacridone Gold the stunning pigment separation. It separates in a very different way. It kind of has this like a pushing effect, which I will show you in the next. So here is just a few of sketches I have done to get a feel of these watercolors. So this is just using 2 Quinacridone Gold and Cobalt Teal, mixing with Quinacridone Gold in places. I mean, I have never experienced watercolors like this. I'm sorry if I'm enabling you yet again, but you know me, that if I don't like something, there's just no way for me to say something else, and if I love something, then that's, you know, what I'm giving you. And yeah, QOR is completely watercolor made for me. I just love it. Couldn't say good enough things. Yeah, stunning, just stunning. I mean, look at this. It's just gorgeous the way the watercolor behaves. Fantastic. And here's just a simple floral illustration right here. You can see, I think, yeah, so here I have laid the watercolor first, and then I went with the ink pen over, so you can see how crisp the line is. However, to see the transparency, the true transparency, you need to look at this this illustration right here, because here I had I placed the illustration with the ink pen first, and then I went with the watercolor over it, and you can see that it's brilliantly transparent. no issues at all. Yeah, stunning. So here I had played around with this Cobalt Teal just to see how it behaves, because very quickly in these swatches I noticed the color disperse is absolutely stunning. So here I basically done some swatches. This is the Quinacridone Magenta, Dioxazine Purple, Green Gold and Quinacridone Gold. So these three and the purple I think as well. I don't remember if I mixed that in. Anyway, so these three colors predominantly, and then while the paper was still wet, I basically touched it with the Cobalt Teal, and you can see from a small touch onto the paper how beautifully the color, it just pushes and moves. It's just stunning. And once it gets in contact with other watercolors, that's also very interesting how it behaves. So that's that. And then here I just tried to mix different kind of shades of it, and here I dubbed it in, I think, into the wet on wet. So these are wet on wet pure color, I think these three, and then here I have the wet on wet mixed with Cobalt Teal. So these are that, and then wet on dry washes. So these three are the washes. So in essence, just look at the stunning colors that you can achieve. This is very beautiful. It's like a planet. The texture of it is just stunning. Look here as well. I hope you can see. Yeah, right here, the texture. Very interesting. So the fantastic thing with QOR is once you kind of play around with it, you realize that you don't need to put much effort into the watercolor to look fantastic. These watercolors are just exciting because I don't have to try very hard, and it just speaks for itself. It's just such a high quality, fantastic, super vibrant and transparent watercolor that it gets me excited. And the reason that I love this type of products or watercolors is the reason that it pushes me to the next level. It wants me to do something I haven't done before. So these two illustrations is something quite unusual for my style, yet I just felt comfortable doing it because I felt the watercolor is just doing its job and I can work with it to create something that I will be pleased with. And there are, like I said, other watercolors that make it so hard for you that at the end of the day you just get put off and you feel like, you know, you're not getting the right results. So all I can say is that QOR for me just works stunningly. So again, I am so in love with the Cobalt Blue, Cobalt Teal, that I decided to mix it in a little bit with the Dioxazine Purple. So here is Cobalt Teal on its own in the pure color. And I was careful here not to go over the black lines because, like I said, you can see here it is the one color out of the 6 that is on a semi-opaque, and so it when you mix it quite strongly, then it will cover the lines and not be as not let the ink be as visible. So I was careful with that. But in the areas where I watered it out and mixed it with another color, you can see I went on top of these stems here and it's absolutely fine. This one is just a face. I googled some faces and I saw, I think, something I liked, a photography, I don't even remember where from, and this was just getting inspired from the face shape. It wasn't me copying the photograph. Is just something I quite liked, and I mixed a wide range of tones right here just with those two colors, Dioxazine Purple and Cobalt Teal, and oh my gosh, it's just stunning, very stunning. And even here, when you would expect it to be quite chalky, it is not. It's got this still like a granulation that is really pretty. It's not a flat color when you dab it in on its pure. It still has that lovely, you can see here I went straight with the color. I don't know, oh my gosh, I would highly recommend for anyone to try it. So I think that is it in terms of my core excitement. I will for sure do some illustrations in near future, so quite soon, I think maybe even this week, just because. So the other thing that I wanted to mention is that their binder is quite exclusive. So they're using Aquazole, which you can see here, hopefully right here. So this is patented ingredient that they worked with scientists to come up. So this Aquazole helps the colors to be very vibrant and transparent, and also this is why the color disperse is so interesting. I mean, you can even see here, I think this is a brilliant little swatch they've done to showcase the watercolors, this kind of oomph and this sort of vibrant energy that is there for this watercolor. So let me quickly tell you that on the bigger tube, so the 11 mils, you get the transparency info. You don't get that on the smaller ones, I don't think. Let me just quickly show you. So the promo tube of Cobalt Blue, so that's a pigment PB28 single pigment. And what else? So it says here, I think it's a semi-transparent or semi-opaque. I do. Like I said, it's a series 4. Now let's quickly have a look at the permanent alizarin crimson. So series 3. It's a also single pigment PR177, and light fastness is good. What about the light fastness? I can't see light fastness info on this one. Then we have also transparent Quinacridone crimson, also series 3. It's a double pigment, so PR 122 and PR 206. Light fastness is excellent, so that's great. Then we have, let's have a look. So let me do this one first. So the Quinacridone Gold is series 3. Oh, it does have so it has info for light fastness too. I don't remember out of the top of my head what it is. And then it's PO 48 and PY 150. Yeah, and then in terms of transparency there is no info there, so I will put it in the info below what the 2 stands for. Then we have the green gold series 3, light fastness is good. So see, some tubes they do like a 2. Oh, that's on the ASTM, and this one I don't know whether that is ASTM or not. That probably isn't. So well, are we good? And then the pigment is a single pigment PY 129. And then we have Cobalt Teal series 4. Excellent, it says, for light fastness, and it's a single pigment PG50. Great color, this one. I'm so happy it's not mixed with anything else. Then it's dioxazine purple, and it is series 3, light fastness excellent. It's PV23, so also single pigment. And then we have Quinacridone magenta series 3, light fastness excellent, PR 122. And finally we have transparent Apparel orange. This is the orange that I absolutely adore. It's one of my favorite oranges, I think. Series 2, light fastness good, PO71. So out of them six, the only color that has 2 pigments is this one here, the Quinacridone Gold. The rest are all single pigments, which is fantastic. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching, and see you soon.